in 3, 2, 1. Hi, welcome to Secondhand Pop Culture. I'm Dave. Today I'll be sharing some of my Goodwill, thrift store, yard sale finds with you. And of course, you might be able to tell from what's behind me, we're doing Disney Plush. So it's not often that I'm going to do a plush episode just because the plush are super easy to find. They're out there. You can go to any yard sale, Goodwill, and find them. The ones that I've got here represent the ones that I have collected because I wanted them in my classroom or because I really liked the way they looked and wanted them here at the house just as collectible items. So one of the key things for me, at least, is the plush has to be clean. Not a lot of dirt and grime and stuff on it. And in some cases I can find them with the original park tags attached, which for me is a bonus because you can just tell. It makes the research a lot easier. You can tell exactly where they came from. So we're going to kick it off, as I said, Disney Plush. It is the House of Mouse, so we're going to start with a giant Mickey Mouse plush. This guy comes from the Disney store. I found him at a Goodwill for $2.99. You might be able to see his little price tag right there. So $2.99. He's pretty clean. I liked him a lot. In doing some research for him, as I said, he came from the Disney store. You can get him on the Shop Disney website. I paid $2.99 for him. He retails on the website for $35. So that's a huge discount for me. It's one of those things where if I decided I wanted to turn around and relist him, I obviously wouldn't I wouldn't list him for the $35. I would list him for something a little more reasonable, maybe for somebody that's a Disney collector that didn't want to pay the full price. So let's take a look and see exactly what we're looking at with this Mickey right here. So this Mickey right here, we can see he's in pretty good shape. His joints are still really good. This one right here is missing a little bit of the fluff. You can see where it collapses. So I really like that he's big enough that he will sit up by himself, and he looks super cute just sitting there. He's not one that I would... Oh, he's not going to stand up or sit up now. He's not one that I would resell just because I love Mickey Mouse. As you can tell from my shirt, he's one that will definitely go into my collection here at home or into my classroom where students can enjoy him. Obviously, they don't get to play with him, but Mickey's there watching over us, so that's cool. If we turn it over and we look, so one of the things that I'm looking for is we're looking for this Disney licensed merchandise tag. There's a lot of knockoffs out there, generally cheaper quality stuff. Now a lot of the Mickey Mouse stuff, a lot of the Disney stuff comes from out of the country. So this one is made in China, but we can see he's got his original UPC. That's how I was able to track down where he came from. I used Google Lens and was able to scan that, and it brought him right up. So there we go. A nice 25-inch Mickey Mouse retails for $35. I paid $2.99. Awesome. All right, let's move on. Okay, so continuing with the Mickey, just because, oh, look at the Mickey behind me. That's not nice. Let me fix Mickey. There we go. Now Mickey's happier. Okay, so I do have another Mickey for you. This Mickey is a 17-inch Mickey Mouse plush. He comes from Walt Disney World. Once again, I paid $2.99 for him. He retails on their website for $20 or thereabouts. It's hard to track down exactly, but here he is. You can see that he's much smaller in comparison. And if I move him over here, we'll see. If I sit him up next to the other one, he's noticeably smaller. He's still super cute. This guy actually lived in my classroom for this past school year. I really just liked him a lot. He's pretty clean. Once again, I paid $2.99 for him. He retails for $20. So let's take a look over here. We can see that he has the Walt Disney World tag on it. Now, it's super important to me that the things that I've got, like I said, Disney Plush is super prevalent. It's really easy to find Disney Plush. So this past week, I went into a Goodwill and I spent probably an hour in the Goodwill. I go up and down all the toy aisles, I go through all the plush, I look through all the collectible glass and everything just to see what's in there that I can find. I'm not only looking for Disney, I look for all sorts of things. You'll see that in other episodes. But when I do find a Disney plush, it's important to me that I can tell that they're authentic Disney merchandise that is, you know, kind of that nostalgia and quality to a point. I mean, we know that the House of Mouse is going to go to the lowest bidder, shall we say, and a lot of this stuff comes from the Far East, you know, like Vietnam, China, Sri Lanka, all that kind of stuff. So we know that the quality maybe isn't going to be there totally, but we also know that Disney doesn't want a bunch of like angry consumers coming and hollering back at them because their plush like disintegrated. So yeah, there we go. When we look at this Mickey, he does have a little bit of issues on his hands. His hands are kind of dirty, especially like on the inside of the hands. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe working on an engine or something. But he's super cute. I had to have him for my classroom, and I'm going to leave him sitting right here for a minute because I do have the next one that we're going to look at, and you might see her back here. So this is, pardon me, Miss Mouse, I don't mean to grab you by your beak, your nose. So this is a super cute Minnie Mouse. She's not wearing her traditional, you know, red and white spotted dress. She's wearing a pink dress. If I look at the tag, I can see that she does have a Disney tag on it, which is a little bit different than the other ones. Most of them have this kind of Disney label right here, right? So that Disney label right there. But this one actually has the certificate of authenticity. And so she was super cute. Now, what's nice about her is, for one, she's got like these pellets kind of in her butt, so she sits really nice, okay? And we'll see that here in a second. I'll just put her here. So she sits really nice. She's gonna make a liar out of me. All right, so the deal with this Mickey Mouse, she's from the Disney store, and it's kind of weird. I had some conflicting research. So there was some that just said Mickey Mouse in a pink dress. Great. But then also when I used Google Lens on her, there was a bunch of results that came up from something called Mickey Mouse and the Roadster Racers. And when you go and look at those, it's some like direct to video or like Disney Channel thing. Like video, and when you look at some of the screen grabs from that, she's definitely wearing that pink spotted dress. So I can't guarantee, but what was kind of cool is when you look at the Disney Store listing, like the disneystore.com, and you look at the listing for her, it says that she's a perfect companion to the 17-inch Mickey Mouse plush. So they kind of go hand in hand, and when you look at the website, they even show the two together. So I just thought that was kind of neat. I really liked her. One of the things I thought was kind of cute about this Minnie Mouse was that if you look, she's wearing like these cute little lace bloomers, right? So, yeah, she's just worthwhile. She also lived in my classroom this past school year. Her and Mickey both sat up on top of one of my cabinets in my room all year long, and it was just kind of cool to have them up in there because I do love the House of Mouse. I do love some Mickey Mouse. All right, moving right along. All right, now we'll stick with another one of the mouse plushes. So this guy here, we actually found this past weekend. Me and Christine from the Multiverse Effect were out together at Goodwill because we love going out to Goodwill. It's really cool because sometimes I'll see things that she wants or that she missed that she has for her collection, and sometimes she'll see things and bring them to me and she'll be like, oh, look what I found for your Disney collection. So it's kind of cool. She brought me this little guy. Now, once again, I'll show him to you. We'll put him right over here. So one of the cool things about this guy, in looking at him, I found that he has the label that says Disney Parks. So he actually came right from the Disney Parks. It's different because there's a lot of stuff that you can get from the Disney store, but unless you go to like shopdisney.com, you can't guarantee that you're getting stuff from the parks. But at any rate, this guy came from the park. So in doing a little bit of research at him, on using Google Lens. Once again, Google Lens is super easy because I basically just hold my phone up, take a picture of it, and then Google Lens automatically pulls back all these results that could be matches. Now with him, they came right through. So what was really neat is he came up super quick. He is, let me look at this again. He is the Mickey Mouse Safari doll, and he comes from Disney's Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World. And you can see he's kind of got that little, I thought he was like a photographer or like a fisherman or something, but no, this is his safari outfit, Mickey's safari outfit. I paid $2.99 for him, and he retails anywhere from between $15 to $20 depending on where you find him at. So just a cute little purchase. He's pretty clean. His body, his nose, a lot of the times when you look at the mice, especially Minnie and Mickey, their faces pick up a lot of dirt just because the color they are. But his eyes are still nice and white. His face is still nice. His hands have a little bit of dirt on them. That just means he was loved. You know, the kids a lot of times grab him by the hands. But yeah, he's super cute. He'll be one of the ones that just lives here at the house in my collection, just because he is a little bit more unique for my collection, so I don't want him someplace where he could potentially get ruined in the classroom. Oh, and we'll do our last mouse. We'll do the last mouse that I've got before we move on. So this one I saw the other day in Goodwill, and I had to have her. She was super cute. Now it is a Minnie Mouse. I paid $4.99 for her, which is a little expensive for me for a plush, just because, like I said, there's plush everywhere. But what really drew me to this one was, first off, when she was up on top of the racks in the toy aisle at the Goodwill, I could plainly see that she had her tag still attached, right? And I was like, oh, she's brand new. So I'm gonna snag her. And what was really cool is when I got her, and let me see if I can show you. So on the back side of her tag, it had her original price tag. And so it meant for me that the research was super easy, obviously. But what I found out was that, and if you look inside, it's like Christmas presents, right? So here's what I found out. Let me put her over here so we can identify her on the table a little bit. All right, so a couple things that I noticed. Right off the bat, on the bottom of her left foot, she's got Disney Store 2014. Now this was nice because it gave me someplace to start from, and her tag says Disney Store as well. So knowing that the tag showed like some Christmas ornaments, and just even looking at her dress, I was like, oh, that's more of a Christmassy thing. It's like this velvet. It's kind of a really nice velvet, high quality. So I went on Google and I just typed in 2014 Disney Store Minnie Mouse. And she came up in all the results. Like the first 20 results were probably all her. So it was really easy to track down that yes, this is indeed a holiday Minnie Mouse. At this point, she's going on 5 years old, and she is pristine. I mean, like I said, she's still got her original tag. She's still got, you know, all the other tagging associated with it. If you look underneath, her bloomers are nice and white. Her hands are nice and white. So this was something that I feel like probably wasn't a toy for a child. Maybe a child had it in their room. Maybe they had it as part of a collection. But this Minnie Mouse was not a toy. And so I was really glad to find this score. She's one that will definitely live in my collection here at home, just because, and we can see that I've got a little dog hair on there. I do have the 7 Chihuahuas. You might even be able to see one back behind her on the ground there, especially when I move her to put her back. But yeah, super cool. Oh, let me tell you what I paid for her. So as we can see, I paid $4.99 for her. She retailed in 2014 for $19.95, so $20. Now, her value has went up a little bit. Like I was finding her for $25, $30 on eBay. Not that I'd sell her, but just in case you're curious and want to try find one for yourself, you know, look on Amazon, look on OfferUp or Let Go. You might even be able to find them on the Disney Store website, they may have some, although with her being a limited release for 2014, there's no guarantees. So yeah, if you like her, and there's a Mickey Mouse that I actually need to find, and you can kind of see he's wearing like a little suit. I need to find him just to complete the set. But yeah, $4.99. Oh, actually, I'm mistaken. I got her on a 50% off Saturday. So her tag says $4.99, but this was on I got her at a Goodwill on a day where everything in the store was 50% off. So it wasn't $4.99, it was $2.50. I just looked at my notes as I was turning around. So yeah, that's even more impressive for me. So $2.50, and I got like this brand new Christmas mini. All right, let's keep on moving and see what else I got. Okay, so as you might be able to tell from what I grabbed, I did grab a couple of Dumbos. Now, one of these was given to me last year by Christine from the Multiverse Effect. She had found it in one of her Goodwill travels. The other one I picked up a couple weekends ago because I thought they were different. But in doing some research, I actually found out something kind of fun, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's look. So I've got two cute little Dumbos, right? Oh, look, Dumbo. There's a couple of identifying features that show you that they're two different things. So let's talk about these Dumbos for a second. So these are, let me find them. These are 15-inch Dumbo plush, only available in Disney parks. I paid $1.99 for the one that I paid for. He goes for about $20 in the Disney park. I'm not exactly sure what the one that Christine bought goes for, or what she paid for it. He also goes for 20 bucks in the Disney parks. Now, I can tell the difference between the two because I happen to know which one was in my classroom, so let me show you. So this was really cool that Christine gave me this one last year, knowing that my classroom was going to be a Disney theme last year. So we can see that this Dumbo still has the Disneyland Resort tag attached to it. So he's pretty much brand new. Now, this is another one that probably sat on a child's shelf somewhere. You know, they probably got him and didn't play with him. Or I wouldn't put it past an adult. I mean, I've bought plushes at Disneyland before. If I think they're really cute, I'll buy them and put them on my shelf. So I'm not saying that it was a kid. As a matter of fact, the fact that the tag is still on the ear is probably indicative of the fact that it was more than likely an adult. Or somebody that didn't want to like ruin the doll, the plush. They wanted to keep him. So this Dumbo is pretty cool. This one, the Disney Parks one that I've got right here, was made in China. Now it's hard to tell exactly when he was made. There's no dating information on it. So we're going to leave him here for a second. We're going to talk about the other Dumbo plush that I've got. Now, this other Dumbo plush that I've got, so he's super clean too, right? He's super clean, and he doesn't have his tag on him, like the cardboard tag, but he also has his Disney Parks thing on his rump, right? So if I pull it over here, we can see Disney Parks, right? Now, what you may or may not notice, and I'll pull them so that they're a little bit more side by side. So there's a couple of identifying features. This Dumbo was made in China. This Dumbo was made in Vietnam. I feel like this one was probably newer because there are a lot of companies that are moving their production from China to Vietnam to Sri Lanka just to lower costs. They're finding it's actually cheaper to move their labor to somewhere else. As China becomes more of that kind of economic world power, they're finding that, or the companies are finding that they can actually go other countries and get it done even cheaper. So this one's from China. This one right here is from Vietnam. Now, there's a couple of distinguishing factors. So the material is different. This one's got more of a pile to it. This guy's a lot firmer, and that's not talking about like the plush inside. That's talking about the material itself, and it's hard to see. This one's got a lot more piling on it, and this one is a lot smoother. There's something else that I'm noticing too, or that I noticed when I was researching. So this Dumbo over here his eyes are looking up, and this Dumbo, his eyes are looking down. Now as well, something else that I've noticed is that their eyes are different. This one you can see his eyes are really stitched, right? Like his eye application is a lot of threads. This one doesn't have that, or it's not as much threading on it. So I would say that these were probably cheaper to produce. He feels a little cheaper. I mean, he's still super cute, but he feels cheaper. So this one, the one that Christine from the Multiverse Effect gave me, lived in my classroom last year. I'll take him back this year. We're getting ready to start the school year back up. This Dumbo, just because I've already got one in my classroom, obviously, this Dumbo will just live here at home, in my collection here at home. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let me go ahead and we'll look at the next item that we've got here. Let me put these Dumbos back where I got them. And next is the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. Now, a little bit of research on him. So I didn't want to take off his Goodwill tag just because I wanted to show you guys. This is another one I paid $2.99 for. That's kind of the common price point I've found at Goodwill. That $2.99 price point for Disney Plush. Now, something that you'll notice on him, let me see if I can get the camera to pick it up. So he, on his flank, has this Disney Store embroidered patch. So that told me exactly where he came from. It was really easy for me to, after that, to go on the website and research and see some more stuff about him. So there's that Disney Store patch that I'm talking about, right? And he was super cute, right? Like, I mean, the Cheshire Cat, he's definitely one of those characters from Alice in Wonderland that I identify with. Yeah, he was just cute enough that I saw him and I was like, I gotta have him. Especially considering, like I said, I do look at this kind of thing. I do look to see if it's an officially licensed product, to see where it came from. So like a lot of times if I see something and maybe it looks like it came from Walmart or it came from like a Target or someplace like that, I'll just pass on it unless it's something really special. Only because there's so much of it out there, like I was saying. But anyways, yep, Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. I paid $2.99 for him. On the Disney Store, he is worth $18, and you can actually still get him on the Shop Disney website. So if that's something you're looking for, if that's something that you're collecting, or you know somebody that loves the Cheshire Cat, go on the Shop Disney website. If you don't know about the Shop Disney website, I highly encourage you to go there and take a look. The Shop Disney website has park merchandise. It has all sorts of things that you can only get from the Disney Store or from the Disney parks. And that's really neat to be able to get stuff that maybe is a park exclusive. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep on moving. And I'll show you the last item that we have today. So let's see what we got here. Let me put him back. And here we go. So I saw him. I just barely saw the tip of him. Let me just put the tip into the frame and see if you guys... So I saw that right there sticking out from inside this giant pile of plush at Goodwill, right? And I was like, what is that? So I reached in and I pulled it out, and this is what came out, right? So if you guys know, you'll know that this is Anger from Inside Out, right? And what was really cool about this plush, so I got him on a half price day. So he was $1.99. That meant I paid $1 for him, right? $1 for a brand new plush. Look at that. He's still got his tag on him. So I thought that was kind of neat. Now, he didn't necessarily come from like a Disney store. In doing a little research, it looks like he did come from a Target, but I did get him just because he was brand new, right? So he has a little bit of weird issues going on with like this stitching in his eye. Like, that's not dog hair, that's just the way his eye is, and I don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want to have like this trail coming off of his eye. But let's move him over here a little bit and take a look at him, just because he's got some really cool little things. So he doesn't stand by himself. This is definitely an item that's made to hug and hold and whatnot. He's got his cool little like corduroy pants, right? His cool little tie. He's got the cute little belt buckle underneath, right? Like, that's some detail on there. His belt loops, even if like I know I can get something in there because I stuck a pencil through there just to see. But you know, he is from inside out. He is from Target. You probably get him at other retail stores as well. But he was brand new, and like I said, $1.99 off, 50% off Saturday. I paid $1 for this brand new guy, and he retails for, let me see here. He retails for $15. Now, I think this is another one that's just going to live here at home because he's got his tag on him. So I don't want that tag to accidentally get ripped off in my classroom or something. And that's the same thing now that I think about it with those Dumbos. I may switch which one lives here and which one goes back to my classroom, because for me, having that tag on there, it's not like a huge thing, but it's definitely like a little bit more attractive, saying, hey, he's like brand new, right? So he was super clean. His shirt's clean. He's got a little bit of dog hair on him. And then, like I said, he's got that weird little stitching artifact on his eye. That's nothing that I did. That's nothing that, you know, I don't think it's supposed to be there. But I don't want to cut it because I don't want that trail of thread coming. So there we go. All right, so that was a Disney Plush episode of Secondhand Pop Culture. I'm Dave. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I've got a lot more planned. I've got a bunch more stuff already ready to roll. It's just a matter of finding the time. As I said, I'm a teacher, so having that, you know, lesson planning and grading and all that extra stuff I do after work. Not to mention the financial aspect of it. I mean, yeah, I'm only paying $1 or $1.50 or $2 or sometimes $5 for these plush, but that means that I have to pay for them, right? Obviously, and I do have like bills and stuff to pay and house payments to make. Plus, it's not just the plush that I'm buying. I've got, like I said, tons of other stuff that will be in different episodes. So I really enjoyed the time I spent with you. Hopefully, you enjoyed seeing some of these secondhand pop culture finds that I got at different places around the valley. So if you've got any comments, questions, if you've got some hot tips on where you think you might have a cool plush located, please feel free to leave a comment. And I will see you next time. Once again, this is Dave with Secondhand Pop Culture, and I'm out. I click stop.